Well, for the most part, things like the Titanic and like I said, I had the Lusitania, and the Lusitania had its own air traffic control. Well, the Lusitania is a holdover, just like the Titanic, where we had our own air traffic control, we had our own monitoring systems, basically, or people, basically, like, they used to use horses in the old days to carry the notes and stuff like that, like the old post office service, basically, like Western Union. Its carriages actually belonged to either Lusitania or one of the other companies or something like that. Western Union was just a something else. Anyway, everything got all mixed up because Lusitania had their own carriages, had their own hotels, had their own aircraft. Titanic had its own blah 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 blah. All my great tour companies or shipping companies basically had all their own stuff, their own hotels. So if you booked a vacation with like the Lusitania, you'd go to a Lusitania hotel. You would ride on a Lusitania carriage. Every shipping company had their own carriage services or their own whatever services, and you could even like cruise around town, on your Lusitania carriage, which is basically, well, I mean, a driver would be paid, but it was all inclusive vacation basically on a few of my upper class services, like the Titanic and like the Lusitania. I think the Lusitania might have been one of the best, where basically you'd buy a ticket at the train station or a ticket space, and then basically you would go and you'd either take a carriage to the Lusitania boarding spot or the Lusitania carriage spot basically, and then you would take a carriage to and then the carriage would take you to the ship, and then you'd get on the ship and then go across, and then you'd go and stay in a Lusitania hotel, and then you would get off and or you'd take a Lusitania train even. I kind of put my train. So Lusitania actually was a very big company. It had its own aircraft, it had its own ships, it had its own hotels, just like the Titanic. The Titanic had its own ship, had its own hotels. Um, there were three of my biggest tour companies, which is basically the Titanic, White Star Lines. Basically, the Lusitania was another big, 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 big one where some countries were basically a Lusitania. Well, Lucifertania, Latania. They just call it Lucifertania. LS basically. LS. But it was getting kind of confusing, and later on, as we went into the future, I restructured. I just did some restructuring, like you go here, you go there, you do this, you do that. Okay, we're gonna do it like this. Because basically, like I say, I'm pretty much the 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 creator of humanity. So I led the humanity a lot. Well, I led all my races a lot in the past. So anyway, now it's all coming back to me now. I get all excited because like those were the good times. I mean, the past. Oh, yeah, 1800. They were the good times. We were on top, and we're doing good because I was a great leader. I was a great monolithic leader, and I admit at sometimes I was psycho a little bit, like like people would be muscling in, or one of my airports would be taken over. Like one of my airports, I think it was Lusitania, or one of my airports in the past got taken over by somebody. Somebody used guns and took it over, and I think I might have gotten a little psycho and just. I mean, there were times in the past when I was like, when I was like, "You're going to die," and we kind of, I may have overreacted just a tad bit. I don't know. There were times in the past when I was a little bit psycho, like Lucifer Star LS. Um, there were times when I had a lot of money and I had a lot of power, and I was just a little psycho sometimes. Well, I mean, usually they would have killed like two or three of my people, and basically, I'm hitting them really hard, and I'm like, but that's the funny thing. Like I say, a lot of times I'm like, no, I don't want to just kill anyone. I want to kill that person. I want to find that person and kill them. Where like I was very specific. Like some people would be like, yeah, just go ahead and kill everyone at the airport. And I'm like, no, question them. I want to know who. I want to know where, and then I want them dead. That was a little bit. Yeah, I mean, I was a little over the top sometimes about things. I was a little bit. sometimes I was a little bit psycho, where it's like I'd get all angry, and usually I'd be like, no, I have to be calm. I have to be calm. Anyway, and I'm not even on drugs. I'm just, well, it's because I really, really, really love my people. I love my people. I cared about my people. My people were, well, my people are my backbone. My people are my, they're little children. They're my existence, basically, in a lot of ways. They're the people that fly my jets. They're the people that sail my ships. The people that run my stores. The people that farm my food, or farm the food for my countries. I mean, my people are vital. So when some gun-toting guy comes in and just goes, I'd get pissed. It's like, I spent all this time, all this money, and I would get pissed at that guy, because it's like, these people had worked for me for years. Like some people worked for me all their lives, and their children worked for me, and then somebody walks in and just kills them, just like that. And I would get like, I admit, I would get a little psycho. I would get like, some people were scared of me, because they're like, oh fuck, you pissed off Lucifer, because it's like I would pay for people to be hunted across the world by Indians and Aborigines. It's like, here, find this guy and kill him. Where it's like, I could give up cars. Like sometimes I was like, well, if I get his head, you can have the car. Where it's like, somebody's like, ooh, car, cool. It's like, well, he's gonna die. And so like sometimes, yeah, sometimes I'd even give away houses, like it's like the person that did this, I want them dead. Because like, I would have lost like some one time they shot up and killed everyone at a hotel at an airport. Everyone practically. They raided the hotel. I mean, not the hotel. The airport. Well, the hotel too. I had a couple of hotels that got raided, where they walked in and they just started shooting, and they shot every single person practically. And it's like, you're dead. I'm going to find you. And yeah, we found him. 1,000 gold, or 100 gold, or whatever. And people were scared of me, because it's like, when they were a psycho, I was, I countered psychoness with psychoness. It's true. Like I'd put 100 gold on someone's head. It's like, and I'd be like, I don't want just any head. I want his head. Like, make sure it's his head. I don't want just like, oh, here's a head. Like, verification. Because I didn't want, I wasn't just sending a message. I was eliminating a problem. So, there were times in the past when, yes, I was a little bit psycho. I know. But I think sometimes, I don't know, maybe my people love me that a little bit more because of that, because they knew that somebody really, really, really cared, about them. Somebody would get those people, if it was possible. Like I would stop at nothing, and I would pay any amount of money. And yeah, we got most of those people. So yeah, anyway, that not to mention all the nice services. Like I provided nice services. I was caring. I was loving. I was loyal. I was, I was everything that everyone would ever wanted in a leader. I worked with people as much as I could until that point, and then it's like, all right, that's it. I'm done. And then, heads would roll. Like, that was all LS Lucifer. I was a little feared. Yeah, people were like, we're just like, just don't fuck with them. And it's like, and as long as people didn't fuck with me, as long as people did what they're supposed to do, it's like, yeah, sure, no problem. It's great. Have all you want. But as soon as they started to fuck with me, then it's like, I would always like, I'd come down a little hard. Sometimes I'd be like, I kind of feel bad about that. Anyway, it's too late now. It's all over with. So, it's years in the past, but yeah, there were times when I was a little bit, but I was always careful about it. Like they'd always say that to me. But he was always careful. He wasn't unreasonable. He had, I'm a leader. Anyway, yeah. So, well, hey, we all make choices, and I made mine. And so now I have to live with them.